Very good afternoon to all the distinguished participants. Your Excellency, Mr. Dmitry Vahrukov, Deputy Minister of Economic Development of Russia. Your Excellency, Mr. Hairul Firdaus Akbarhan, Deputy Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture of Malaysia. Your Excellency Dato' Chong Nulai, Ambassador of Malaysia to Russia. Your Excellency Badrul Hisham bin Moh, Deputy Secretary General of the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security of Malaysia. Your Excellency Mr. Artem Al-Hassan, Deputy Director of Ministry of Agriculture of Russia. Your Excellency Mr. Fahmi bin Zainal, Penang State Minister for Agri-Technology, Food Security and Cooperative Development. Your Excellency former Senator Jaziri Al-Kaf. Mr. Rustam Tapayev, Deputy Director General of Kafkasaref, Dr. Abdul Razak Ahmad, Chairman of the Education Malaysia Global Services, Mr. Timirhan Alishev, Vice Rector for External Relations of Kazan Federal University, Mr. Daniyar Akaziev, Executive Director of Russia-ASEAN Business Council, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my very great pleasure to welcome you today to the second consecutive Russia-Malaysia Roundtable being held within the framework of the Kazan Forum here in the Republic of Tatarstan. Last year we had an opportunity to meet here for the first time, and it is my sincere hope that by meeting here today, we are in fact establishing a new tradition of seeing each other in Kazan annually during this beautiful month of May. I would like to express gratitude to all the participants who joined us here today, and of course to our guests who flew in all the way from Malaysia, which is not a short way to come. We are very honored and very lucky to have you here with us. Just a couple of words to set up the background of our discussion today. We have chosen as a main topic of this meeting the topic of cooperation between Russia and Malaysia at the level of states and regions of the two countries, and we are taking a cross-sectoral approach. Indeed, when we talk about building ties, it is of course extremely important to create the right conditions for the economy, from the economy, infrastructure, regulatory points of view, all the things that the governments are responsible for. But in the end of the day, it always comes to companies and ultimately to the people on the ground who make things work. So therefore, to build a functional relationship, we need to understand each other better. The economic needs, the cultural backgrounds, the real-life situation in the regions, cities, towns, villages. In other words, to know our partner. That's why we are here today to talk about trade, agriculture, tourism, culture, energy, education, all of the sectors that at the end of the day contribute to what each country is striving for, and that is sustainable economic growth. And the second idea is to actually work out how we can better engage regions and the states of the two countries in joint activities to secure that economic growth for both Russia and Malaysia. Without further ado, I would like to launch our roundtable with a video greeting from His Excellency, Ambassador of the Russian Federation to Malaysia, Mr. Nail Latipov, who was not able to join us today in this room, unfortunately, but he is definitely here with us by all means of the modern technology. So please, let's see the address.
Dear colleagues, dear friends, good day. I'm happy to welcome you with this welcome address to this roundtable dedicated to the development of the multilateral cooperation between Russia and Malaysia. It is so pleasant to meet in spring, and it becomes a tradition to meet all together in Tatarstan, in Kazan, and to have the representatives of business, culture, science, education, and Tatarstan. Kazan is welcoming and is very hospitable to meet everyone and to offer these platforms for cooperation, and therefore I express thankfulness to the organizing committee and the government of the Republic of Tatarstan, and personally Mr. Mihanov. And Malaysia is our partner, and the delegation of Malaysia is the largest delegation at Kazan Forum, and now we have over 60 people, and it proves that it is a great interest given to our relationships between Russia and Malaysia. And from our side, we are focused on expanding and diversification of our relationships in different spheres. In 2023, this bilateral trade exchange went over $3 billion, and comparing to our neighbors in the region, it is quite decent. But we feel there is still a way to go, a niche, and we are to implement the best efforts to grow. And I here mean the transfers of agricultural products, and Russia can become the guarantee of agricultural safety and security for Malaysia. We can offer you certificates for halal of our products, and we have gained the agreement on diversification of exchange of agricultural goods and that are shipped to both of our countries, and we can grow our export of fertilizers to Malaysia. And there is a way to go in terms of high-tech and contemporary industry. We know the plans of Malaysia to become a global high-tech center, and we are ready to cooperate with them. And in implementation of our joint efforts and projects, we are ready to share our know-how and knowledge, and we see the perspectives of regional cooperation. The leader here is the Republic of Tatarstan. The event of today hosts the Malaysian entrepreneurs from different territories and regionals and of different names. And I hope that this roundtable and this informal communication will help to find the potential partners to establish good partnerships with ministries, agencies, authorities, and business representatives to enter the Malaysian market. And of course, a great niche is given to tourism. In 2023, the number of Russian tourists to Malaysia hit the record 110,000 of people. And the national agencies is focusing on providing the best conditions for tourist exchange. And we have still some limitations and issues to tackle to mitigate the gaps in visa procedures and tourist exchange. And we need to have direct connections within the operators, tour operators. And we know that the results of the event of yesterday, this inauguration event on this common committee will help and provide for this. And in this bilateral cooperation, we give a special focus on science and education. We have about 850 Malaysian students studying in Russia, and we want to expand on them. We develop academic mobility of students, and we want to launch joint educational and scientific projects between our two countries to promote Russian language in Malaysia and Malaysian language in Russia. And I am sure that this roundtable, Russia-Malaysia economic aspects of regional cooperation, will provide for better cooperation and relationship development. And I wish all the best and fruitful cooperation. Thank you.
Remarks. And next, I would like to invite His Excellency Ambassador of Malaysia to the Russian Federation, Dato' Chonglong Lai, to share your welcoming remarks. Please, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Salam sejahtera, dobry dien, very good afternoon to everyone. YB Cairo Fidaus, our leader for this delegation to the Kazan Expo Forum, YB Dato, and distinguished guests, and also the dear delegates from Malaysia. First and foremost, would like to thank the organizer for putting together this gathering, this very important roundtable, and also for the honor for me to give the welcoming remarks. Well, basically, I would not go too much into the details because I see that there is a long list of speakers that has been prepared to make their presentation, and therefore I will just go in terms of the overview of how things have been with regard to the Malaysia and Russia relations, and zooming into the significance of this expo to Malaysia. Practically, we could see the strength of the delegation members, the participation, have grown significantly over the years, and this year alone, we see the participation of a strong delegation of over 65 delegation members representing various sectors from the government, from the private sectors, and also universities. We have about 10 members, representing ministries and agencies taking part in this year's forum. Obviously, all these interests and the enthusiasm of taking part in this Kazan Expo comes from the achievements that we have seen from the participation of our delegation last year. So indeed, there has been significant achievements that we have gained through this platform, which is the Kazan Forum, and from it, it has also seen the interest of the aspect of education, and in this year's forum itself, we have representation of 4 universities and institution of higher learnings. Each one of them have a role in terms of engaging with the Russian institution of higher learnings. At the same time, there is this process of the exchange of knowledge. I believe that we have some of our representatives from the universities, going on for some lectures in the Kazan Federal Universities. And, in the aspect of bilateral trade, we have seen a significant increase from 2002 to 2003. And last year alone, our total trade was USD 3.11 billion. It was a significant increase of 11.5%. And zooming in on the halal industry, we see also the significant increase of 30 to 40% yearly in this aspect. And we must commend Tatarstan in terms of the development of the halal sector, in terms of the promotion of halal products, where we take note that the exports coming out from Tatarstan alone has increased almost 20 times with the value of about 300,000 USD. And in the aspect of where we are also with regard to the direct direct success of from last year's participation, Malaysia, in fact, gave recognition in terms of the halal certification to the Center Halal Nadzor and also to the ICSC Halal. And I understand that in the pipeline, there is already a few more Russian companies that are also going through the process of getting their certification from the Halal Authority in Malaysia, which is JAKIM. And going into the aspect of halal itself, as we look at the word halal, I think we are moving towards it becoming a branding. This is how I think in the case of Malaysia, it is a branding of what we consider high quality standards. It is not just something that it is meant for the Muslim community. It should be a branding that halal is for everyone, for the Muslims and the non-Muslims. And I think we are achieving that sort of target. In the sense that it is also not about just food. It is about, like I say, it's about high quality standards, in terms of the process, in terms of the hygiene part of this halal thing. And this is also can be seen in terms of how the industry has expanded. And it is also about lifestyle, as what was discussed yesterday during the meeting of the ambassadors, together with the rise of Tatarstan. I think there is this understanding that the goal of this halal branding should be something towards that, something that is accepted by all, and then. In terms of sectors, I think it has grown to various aspects of Islamic finance and banking. Now we are talking about Islamic fashion, cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, product, and it goes on. And in this aspect, perhaps just to sort of draw the conclusion that. In the case of Malaysia, we see the importance of this Kazan Expo, and like I say, the interest has, there is this momentum that has been increasing year by year. We could see the level of participation from Malaysia has increased over the years, and in this regard, we also have a similar platform that we are undertaking, and we are also very glad to learn that Malaysia is going to host. We have this annual platform on halal exhibition and expo, which we call MIHAS, and we understand that this year there would be also a strong delegation coming from Tatarstan, where there is now this recognition that through this platform, the Kazan Expo, and also through this MIHAS, we would gain a lot from and a lot of benefits, a lot of interest in this aspect, and therefore with that, I think I will just conclude my welcoming remarks. Thank you very much. Spasibo большое.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Благодарю Ваше Высочество. Я думаю, вы как бы осветили много разных и важных сфер для сотрудничества и бизнеса, и мы будем продолжать сегодня больше об этом говорить. И продолжая нашу встречу, я попрошу замминистра экономического развития Дмитрия Вахрукова поделиться с нами, как отношения между Россией и Малайзией продолжают расти. Господин Вахруков очень много занимается внешнеэкономической деятельностью, и можете ли вы поделиться, что как бы продолжает нам расти и что нам поможет развиваться больше?
Рад видеть всех вас на круглом столе Россия-Малайзия.
Thank you very much for coming here and for inviting me here. And I definitely want to thank the Russian ambassador in Malaysia and the Malaysian ambassador here in Russia for sharing their welcoming words. It's the second time that we have this welcoming, that we welcome the round table of Russia and Malaysia cooperation. And it's definitely to see each and every one of you here in Kazan. And from our side, from our Ministry of Economic Development, we have a lot of desire to continue and grow in our cooperation. And, it's been last year we had back in November, we had a meeting on the cooperation in scientific, cultural, and business spheres. I thank our Malaysian colleagues, not just for their hospitality, but for very fruitful work that we had a chance to share, discuss, and plan. During this committee's meeting, we highlighted a few steps about the import and export of various products. We created 2 working groups on tourism and even discussed the climate change agenda. I'd like to focus on a couple of aspects of the bilateral cooperation, which is the driving force between Malaysia and Russia going to a new level of cooperation. First of all, we see a lot of potential about the good exchange between our countries. Russia is exporting various products, whether it's chemical industry or mineral water, and we bring a lot of food products, whether it's palm and coconut oil. We buy a lot of electronics, a lot of clothing goods, and we definitely see a lot of potential in increasing, whether it has to do with fertilizers or with food products of various kinds. And the special sector that we definitely is interesting for us is the palm oil industry, and of course from our side the wheat and the sunflower oil from our side into Malaysia. And we're discussing the meat export into Malaysia, and we're discussing the halal certification. Last year, the board of Malaysia issued two certificates for two Russian companies, and next year we're expecting some more for their halal certification. To advance this dialogue in this sphere, we hope it's important to sign the MOU and between the Department of Islamic Development of Malaysia and the Russian accreditation. And of course, the pharmaceuticals, energy, and medical equipment, and we are open to consider that to export, of course, various, whether it's gas or several different minerals. We see a lot of cooperation opportunities in the industry sector. In Malaysia, biochemical holdings produce a lot of different oil that are quite advanced, and they're very environmentally friendly. And in Russia, there is a Malaysian company that produces certain, again, environmentally friendly products that are highly appreciated by us. And the positive side that Malaysia has quite a lot of advanced technologically platforms where certain products and are being produced. So the colleagues from Malaysia and from Russia here, we hope that today and in days to come we'll be able to continue discussing the possibilities of cooperating together. Well, of course, we're interested in other Asian countries, but Malaysia is definitely one of the key partners for us. And we hope that there will be more sort of from on our side, that the seaport, like in Vladivostok, will be a place which will be utilized by us for this cooperation. I see a lot in tourism for both of us, for both of our countries, and both in Malaysia and Russia, there are people who are there. These are wonderful people. These are curious people who want to see other countries. And we hope to see more of that sort of mutual tourism. And of course, this tourism will also contribute to the personal relationships between the nations, between the people of our countries. So tourism sector is definitely quite important on that human level as well. We agreed to interministerial MOU yesterday between our countries, and I'm glad to say that the tourist flow into Malaysia is on the rise, and since COVID times, right now it's about 40% higher. And on our side, we definitely want to welcome more and more tourists from Malaysia. Since August last year, the citizens of Malaysia can get an electronic visa into Russia up to 16 days. just to make things easier for the Malaysian tourist, we developed a project of the tourist card, which will allow a Malaysian tourist to pay for anything here in Russia, and also to use the electronic wallet. We discuss with banks and different credit organizations for them to be connected to this particular financial product. And we would love to have more Malaysian companies maybe involved in this project, so more of the Malaysian, both businesses and tourists, could be involved. So we hope for more cooperation between travel agencies, tourism companies in Malaysia and Russia. So we fortunately had a chance to go to KL, to Kuala Lumpur, and with some of the tourism industry experts, and be at the International Tourist Forum exhibition there. There are more and more results and advancement between the tour operators. Different packages, tourist packages, are offered to Russian tourists. We want to highlight that Malaysian colleagues in the tourism industry come to our expos on tourism as well into Russia, like in Moscow, and it was a pleasure for us to have Malaysian colleagues. And we hope that Malaysian partners will come to the fourth international forum called Travel. And on my part, on my behalf, I want to say, if you come, anyone from Malaysia, you are more than welcome. I will welcome you personally there. The program will be outstanding and amazing. It is important to start more and more sort of cooperation in this tourism industry, and something that will facilitate that as well. So language courses, Russian language courses in Malaysia, and to strengthen the intercultural dialogue between our countries is also in the creative areas like cinema. I think the Moscow Film Week, which will be happening on the 23rd, 27th August, there's going to be a cinema expo, and there will be best films. Mr. Firdaus, I personally invite you to come and join us. And please, if you can, share some of the Malaysian films to us. So not only we will see them, but all the guests of this film week. A few words about the interregional cooperation. We assure that it is one of the main drives, and can become one of the main drives. So the trade economical cooperation between, there are several countries. It's mainly Moscow, St. Petersburg, Tatarstan, Leningrad region, Nizhny Novgorod regions. But like last May, Moscow organized a business mission into Malaysia for the companies that are interested in exporting their products from the industrial sector. This year, the business mission from Novgorod mission to KL. And of course, one of the main things of the one of the regions that are particularly interested in Malaysia, of course, are predominantly Muslim regions, such as Tatarstan. And of course, tourism again is one of the leading. So one of the representative from the Caucasus, Russia Federation, will be talking later about it. But tourism, of course, is not the only, and we believe that the high technology, high tech, and IT spheres would be something we can advance. So, for example, between the University Research Institute in Sarawak and our institute had a chance to discuss a project together. And so building a smart city, smart nation expo in 2023 in Kuala Lumpur. The rectors from leading universities, St. Petersburg, Kursk, signed 9 agreements with the universities of Malaysia during the second meeting of the International Commission last November. It's primarily technical universities, but fortunately, we do have the inter-university agreements between Vladivostok, Tomsk, Samara, and others with some of the universities Malaysian. So quite a few Malaysian students are here with us in Russia in about 21 universities. So in this context, we hope for an agreement that the agreement that will allow the mutual acceptance of the certificates, diplomas, and it will create perhaps we will create a working group on education, and I believe soon we will have a meeting of this working group soon. So other areas and other aspects in the interregional cooperation we hope to advance further. In conclusion, I want to say that during the last year we advanced quite far in our cooperation in different spheres, and some of these tracks I mentioned. It's important to support this positive dynamics that exist between the government, our governments, and we this year we hope to have the 3rd meeting of this intergovernmental commission, and this year, and we hope that this round table will bring more and more positive aspects.
This was a very comprehensive overview of our bilateral relations, of both the achievements and the plans for the future. Thank you for this valuable contribution, and I'm sure that our audience today has learned a lot from this speech. You know, from what you have shared, we see that bilateral cooperation is really a multifaceted structure, and for its sustainable development, we do have to have several sources of growth. You've also mentioned that this cooperation is always about people. I loved the idea that you shared of our two nations having wonderful people and having this experience of living both in Russia and Malaysia. I can absolutely agree with this, and I only hope that more people from the two countries can travel and have this experience. So I would like to invite the audience and our participants to explore a bit more on the role of people-to-people ties, including tourism and culture, in the development of economic cooperation between Russia and Malaysia. And I would like to invite Honorary Khairul Firdaus bin Akbar Khan, Deputy Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture of Malaysia. Your Excellency, last year we have seen a significant growth in numbers of tourists from Russia to Malaysia, and we see that tourism cooperation between the two countries is gaining more and more attention, and we've already mentioned that we had the first meeting of the working group on tourism yesterday. Malaysia itself is working and focusing very strongly on tourism, especially so in the upcoming Visit Malaysia year 2026. What would you say? What is the way forward for cooperation between the two countries in tourism and culture? How this can play a role in our bilateral cooperation?
Thank you, Madam Moderator. His Excellency Dmitry Bakhruvov, Deputy Minister of Economic Development of the Russian Federation, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all. It is my pleasure to be here today for this distinguished event, Roundtable of Russia-Malaysia Economic Aspects of Regional Cooperation, hosted by the Ministry of Economic Development of the Russian Federation. My heartfelt gratitude to the organizers for bringing together experts, policymakers, and stakeholders from across the region to discuss the vital connection between culture and tourism. The tourism industry has always been a powerful vehicle for promoting economic growth, facilitating cross-cultural understanding, and strengthening ties between nations. Platforms such as this dialogue allow us to explore collaborative strategies and unlock the true potential of culture and tourism to bring about mutual benefits for our countries. Tourism and culture are inextricably linked, and each influences the development and sustainability of the other. Culture contributes to tourism by including the destination's history, traditions, heritage, arts, cuisine, and way of life. It is an array of assets that motivates and stimulates travel demand. As a result, travelers seek unique cultural experiences to obtain authenticity and deeper understanding of various societies. Tourism, in turn, fosters cultural preservation and economic growth by providing opportunities for local communities to showcase their cultural assets while generating income. This symbiotic relationship between tourism and culture encourages cross-cultural exchange, appreciation, and dialogue, leading to tolerance, variety, and global understanding. It also protects community identities and tradition by cultivating and protecting cultural heritage, resulting in a positive cycle of mutual enrichment and long-term development. Following the WHO's declaration, which brought the COVID-19 global health emergency to a symbolic end in May 2023, travel and tourism have experienced a rapid recovery, which stands to gain further momentum for the year 2024 onwards. It is encouraging that international arrivals have reached 88% of pre-pandemic levels in 2023. According to the UN Tourism Barometer, with restored travel confidence and air connectivity, tourism continues to grow from strength to strength as an important driver in accelerating overall economic growth. In 2023, Malaysia welcomed a total of 21 million international tourist arrivals and generated ringgit Malaysia 72 billion in tourism receipts. For 2024, we are ready to welcome more international tourists as we are targeting 27.3 million tourist arrivals in total, with 140,000 tourist arrivals from Russia. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, with regard to community-based tourism, CBT, I would like to share some of the best practices that Malaysia has to offer for fusing tourism and culture. Malaysia's National Tourism Policy 2020 to 2030 has outlined several augmentation strategies for the CBT segment, especially in reinventing Malaysia's iconic homestay experience program. To make it an economically dynamic CBT attraction, these plans include expand the scope of the homestay experience beyond the village to include ecotourism and cultural tourism corridors and trails, develop and differentiate homestay packages based on the unique selling proposition of each homestay, and carry out ongoing capacity building programs through hands-on approaches such as mentoring. Also, based on Malaysia's experience, tourist destinations that turn into prosperous CBT models are typically propelled by community cooperatives that offer enhanced networking and synergy, as well as business opportunities to fully realize the potential of the village. One such example that has accomplished all the above is the Miso Walai Homestay, operated by the Batu Putih Community Ecotourism Cooperative. It was recognized in 2021 with the UN Tourism Award for Best Tourism Villages for its iconic community-based ecotourism initiatives in Malaysia's Borneo state of Sabah. In addition to Batu Putih's ecotourism and conservation initiatives, its concurrent social agenda provides a plethora of member and community-focused advantages, ranging from microfinance to grants, prizes, and community-wide training programs. Another example that I would like to share today is the cooperative of Kilim Village community in the UNESCO-recognized Kilim Geoforest Park on Malaysia's well-known island of Langkawi. Starting with just 3 boats and growing quickly to 80 now, this cooperative of local fishermen oversees the well-linked mangrove boat trips of Langkawi Geopark. In addition to offering tour boat services, the cooperative has expanded its line of business to include fresh seafood restaurants on floating platforms, fishing, and gift shops. Building on these local strengths, potential strategies that may be explored, including developing trails and packages with improved offerings that encourage longer stays. As post-pandemic travel insights indicate, most travelers are taking fewer holidays and staying longer at a destination by combining work and leisure in creative ways. As a result, developing new products around the concept of slow travel and purposeful travel can highlight the value of establishing a connection with the local people, culture, food, and music. Moving forward, Malaysia is on a journey to create many more sustainable tourism communities, such as Batu Putih community and Kilim village community, by providing the necessary assistance, training, and funds. Dear colleagues, positive diplomatic relations have long existed between Malaysia and Russia, and we will further strengthen through the signing of the Economic, Scientific, Technical, and Cultural Cooperation, ESTC, on 21st November 2015. With the signing of the ESTC, both parties recognize the importance of preserving and deepening tourism and cultural cooperation by conducting exchange activities aimed at promoting the cultural heritage of the people of both countries. The Ministry, through the National Symphony Orchestra from Istana Budaya of Culture, has had the opportunity to collaborate with the St. Petersburg Theatre Russian Ballet in a classical ballet performance titled The Sleeping Beauty at Istana Budaya Kuala Lumpur in 2020. Thus, we welcome any cultural exchanges, and we hope we can further leverage our cooperations despite the distance. Thank you, Your Honorable Deputy Minister, for the invitation to the Moscow Film Week. I will discuss with the Malaysian filmmakers and identify the best to bring them to Moscow. In brief, tourism and cultural exchange serve as a potent catalyst for fostering strong people-to-people ties across borders. Through tourism, individuals could immerse themselves in different cultures, traditions, and ways of life, fostering understanding, empathy, and respect for diversity. Cultural exchange programs, festivals, and events provide platforms for meaningful interactions between people from diverse backgrounds, leading to the forging of friendships and mutual appreciation. Furthermore, tourism and cultural initiatives contribute to economic development, cultural preservation, and diplomatic relations between nations. By promoting cross-cultural understanding and cooperation, tourism and cultural exchange play a vital role in building bridges between individuals and communities worldwide, ultimately contributing to a more interconnected and harmonious global society. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. That was a beautiful speech. Thank you very much for the examples of the community-based and ecotourism that you provided. I think it is very inspiring, and certainly that proves the point of making it possible for communities to be blend into the economy and tourism sectors very well. We really hope to see the Malaysian representation in the Let's Travel Forum that our Deputy Minister has mentioned. And we hope to see some Malaysian films in the Creative Film Festival in Moscow as well. So looking forward to that. Thank you very much. Moving forward with our discussion, I'm sure it will not be an exaggeration to say that one of the most discussed areas of cooperation is agriculture and food security. Last year during Kazan Forum, we witnessed the signing of a memorandum of understanding between two of the companies in the agriculture sphere. And it has already been mentioned today that two of Russian halal certification bodies have been recognized by JAKIM. Today we are honored to have here with us His Excellency Mr. Badrul Hisham bin Moh, Deputy Secretary General of the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security of Malaysia. Your Excellency, last year we had a pleasure of profound participation of Malaysian delegation in Kazan Forum and of the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. And in this first edition of this Russia-Malaysia Roundtable last year as well, and we're very happy to have you here today with us again. And I would like to ask you on your assessment of how the Malaysia-Russia relations in the sphere of agriculture have progressed within this year. And would you agree that agriculture and food security are actually one of the drivers of our economic cooperation? How would you see the way forward? Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Moderator, Honorable Deputy Minister of Economic Development of the Federation of Russia, Honorable Yang Berhormat Khairul Firdaus Akbar Khan, Deputy Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture of Malaysia, Excellency Nail Latifov. We also listened to his speech just now. Ambassador of the Russian Federation to Malaysia. Thank you very much for participating in this discussion or roundtable discussion. Our Malaysia Ambassador to the Federation of Russia, Excellency Datuk Lun Lai Tiong. Thank you very much, Datuk, for also participating. Excellencies, speakers, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon, Dobry den. It is an esteemed pleasure to extend my gratitude to the Ministry of Economic Development of the Russian Federation and Kazan Forum 2034 for inviting me to also speak at this auspicious occasion. The Roundtable Russia-Malaysia, specifically on the agriculture and food security as a driver of bilateral cooperation. As we assemble side by side here today, we convene as a gathering of shared vision and purpose to forge stronger bonds of cooperation between our two nations, united by a common commitment to agricultural development and towards global food security. Before I go further in my speech, allow me to offer my warmest welcome to all attendees of this roundtable meeting, a gathering of Malaysian and Russia officials, as well as entrepreneurs. Indeed, I'm very pleased to be here, firstly, to deliver these remarks, and then to listen and explore potential and opportunities for collaboration and exchanges, all for boosting trade and investment relations between our two nations. Ladies and gentlemen, the relationship between Malaysia and Russia spans across various sectors, and agriculture stands as a pivotal pillar in our bilateral cooperations. Both of our nations possess rich agricultural landscapes, abundant natural resources, and a wealth of expertise that hold immense potential for collaborations and mutual benefit. Russia boasts a robust agricultural sector characterized by vast fertile lands and a diverse range of crops. With its extensive grain production, Russia has emerged as one of the world's leading exporters of wheat, barley, and other grains. Furthermore, Russia's advancements in greenhouse technology and cold-resistant crop varieties have enabled year-round cultivation, enhancing the nation's self-sufficiency and export capabilities. On the other hand, although Malaysia's agriculture sector is not as robust as Russia's, Malaysia is working hard to elevate agriculture as one of Malaysia's biggest contributors to her economy and be renowned for its innovations and sustainability practices. Despite its relatively small land area, Malaysia has become a global leader in tropical agriculture, particularly in the cultivation of oil palm, rubber, and tropical fruits. Through effective land management and agroforestry techniques, Malaysian farmers are trying to achieve high yield while minimizing environmental impact, serving as a model for sustainable agriculture worldwide. Ladies and gentlemen, in recent years, our bilateral trade and investment relations have shown promising growth. Trade between Malaysia and Russia increased by 15.6% in 2022. This bilateral trade represents 0.5% of Malaysia's trade in goods with the world. Malaysia's total export to Russia increased by 17.3% to 2.83 billion ringgit Malaysia, or 0.62 billion US dollar, from 2.41 ringgit Malaysia billion, or 0.55 billion US dollar in 2022, mainly contributed by electrical and electronic products. The exports accounted for 0.2% of Malaysia's total exports globally, and moreover, investment from both sides have been steadily increasing, with Malaysian companies exploring opportunities in Russia's agriculture sectors and Russian investors showing keen interest in Malaysia's vibrant agribusiness industry, such as in high technology, capacity-intensive, and knowledge-driven industries, namely in alternative energy sources and biotechnology. In today's interconnected world, where challenges such as climate change, population growth, and economic uncertainties loom large, the importance of ensuring food security cannot be overstated. It is imperative that we work hand in hand to harness the power of innovation, technology, and sustainable practices to safeguard the availability and accessibility of nutritious food for present and future generations. Malaysia and Russia have much to offer each other in this regard. And Malaysia, with its vibrant agricultural sector and expertise in tropical farming, can share valuable knowledge and experiences with Russia, particularly in areas such as palm oil production, aquaculture, and tropical crop cultivation. Likewise, Russia's vast agricultural lands, advanced research capabilities, and technology prowess present promising opportunities for collaboration and investment from Malaysian counterparts. Ladies and gentlemen, as we embark on this journey of collaborations, let us not only focus on the exchange of food or goods and services, but also on fostering meaningful partnership built on trust, mutual respect, and shared prosperity. By leveraging each other's strengths and addressing common challenges together, we can unlock new avenues of growth and innovations that will benefit not only our two nations, but also contribute to the global effort towards achieving sustainable development goals. Furthermore, it is crucial that our collaboration extends beyond the realm of agriculture alone. By integrating agriculture with other sectors such as trade, technology, education, and healthcare, we can create synergies that amplify the positive impact of our efforts and pave the ways for comprehensive and inclusive development. In Malaysia, under the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, we are working on a visionary initiative called Pinta 30. Under this strategic initiative, one of its fundamental pillars emphasizes the paramount significance of collaborations across various sectors. Pinta 30 advocates for robust partnerships between the public and private sectors, research institutions, and universities. This collaborative effort is aimed at fostering innovation, sharing expertise, and collectively addressing the challenges of ensuring global food security. By working together synergistically, we strive to develop and implement effective solutions that will not only meet the present needs, but also pave the way for a sustainable and food secure. Ladies and gentlemen, as we look to the future, the evolving global landscape may be full of new challenges that require us to adapt and innovate, but it also presents numerous opportunities. Hence, we must continue to explore untapped areas of collaborations, such as digital economy, sustainable development, and emerging technologies. By leveraging our respective strengths and resources, we can address these challenges together and propel our nations onto a more sustainable growth path. In conclusion, let us seize this opportunity to reaffirm our commitment to advancing cooperation in agriculture and food security between Malaysia and Russia. Let us work together with determination, creativity, and perseverance to build a future where no one goes hungry, where farmers thrive, and where our partnership serves as a beacon of hope and progress for generations to come. Thank you and spasiba.
Thank you very much. Thank you for pointing out the trade. We are very lucky to have here with us and to have the opportunity to hear from both sides. So I would like to give the floor to Mr. Artem Alhasyan, Deputy Director of the Department of International Cooperation and Export Development of Agricultural Products of the Ministry of Agriculture of the Russian Federation. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. It is a pleasure to welcome you. And on behalf of the Minister of Agriculture, I want to welcome the Malaysian delegation and to thank them for their participation in the Kazan Forum. The questions of cooperation between Malaysia and Russia in agriculture is just one of the is crucial and very important for us. And our objective, considering that the trade cooperation sort of continues to advance. And speaking globally, for all of us, we need to make sure that the food security for the global community is there. And Malaysia is a key partner for us, and it's definitely one of the main partners from Southeast Asia. And we see how the relationship advanced between our countries, and definitely statistics in agriculture is important. Between our countries, it has increased by 30% the export and import between our countries in the first quarter, according to our statistics. And wheat and barley and other products. And together with that, we want to preserve the current dynamic of the trade and see the points of advancement and growth. And we hope to export more of the wheat, milk products, beans. We see additional opportunities that meat and poultry will have more sort of like openness on the Malaysian market, and that will definitely decrease various risks that might be there. I think in the open way, all of the services of our ministry are open to work, and we definitely want to the vet certificate in Malaysia about the milk products and about beef. We hope in the future there will be inspections of the Russian companies that are involved in the production of milk and beef in particular. So in all these sectors and the advancements, of course, the halal certification that will be accepted in Malaysia, that will definitely help. And we're happy to report that, as you know, of course, yourself, that's quite a few of our products, halal products, were accepted in Malaysia. And we hope more to come, and that they will be certified and accepted on all levels. And definitely the food, the Russian agricultural sector and the food industry, of the Russian Federation is very much interested in more Malaysian products. It is by 2% that the export of the Malaysian products and agricultural products has increased into Russia, and we're glad about that, to expand and diversify in the agricultural sector. But the Ministry of Agriculture, we had a person sent from our ministry to work in Malaysia, which allows us to, whatever issues that arise between our ministries of agriculture, Russian Federation, that person is able to he's right there to address those issues and to help in any way possible. So I hope, because of our mutual cooperation, we'll be able to solve any possible price arise, whether it's food security and other global issues. We'll tackle them together.
And today we have with us representative of State of Penang of Malaysia, Mr. Fahmi bin Zainal, Penang State Minister for Agri-Technology, Food Security and Cooperative Development. Mr. Fahmi, my question to you is, how do you see how would you define the priorities and interests of the Penang State in cooperation with the Russian side?
Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera.
Салям алейкум, добрый день. Добрый день всем коллегам и представителям разных министерств. Прежде всего, я хочу поблагодарить правительство Российской Федерации и, конечно же, правительство Республики Татарстан, которые пригласили меня сюда, простите, на форум. Я очень благодарен за это. Те возможности сотрудничества на региональном уровне между Россией и штатом Пенанг, позвольте мне немножко рассказать о Пенанг. Хотя, возможно, он небольшой, но в штате Пенанг одна из самых развитых экономик. Наши НВП находится на более высоком уровне, чем многие штаты Малайзии, выше на 8,5%. Это касается и майнинга, и сельского хозяйства. и других секторов штата Пенанг. Наш штат был признан признан в разных...
Significant achievement that I would like to highlight in our relative high productivity in rice production. The average yield of rice product in Penang is the highest in Malaysia for 6 years since 2018 until now consistently, despite our shrinking total land mass for planting. I believe the main contributor to this achievement in rice cultivation has to be various assistance from the state government to the farmer under rice crop development project. We support our farmers to stay productive through the adoption of advanced planting techniques and the latest automation solution. On the top of that, Penang is also highly regards in the fishery sector. Penang contributes the highest production of aquaculture to the country and ranks second place in terms of sea catch, generating billions of revenue through this sector last year. Besides rice cultivation and fishery, Penang is also well known as a main producer of tropical fruits such as durian fruit, jackfruit, pineapple, papaya, banana, and mangosteen. Various species and clones of durian fruits have been cultivated and planted on the hills of Penang. The durian fruit attracts international visitors, especially from China, to come to Penang during its season just to enjoy this fruit. Over the year, our local durian farmers have also entered the international market by exporting their durian fruits to the foreign countries like China and Japan. Penang also plans to strengthen the tuna industry by promoting our tuna landing port to attract more international vessels into Penang. This history of tuna landing activities in Penang could trace back all the way to the 1960s, and that is why we are planning to revive it again to be the biggest tuna landing port in Malaysia, complying to the EU standard. Moving forward, I'm confident that there will be vast opportunity for Penang State to forge stronger cooperation with Russia in tackling the food security crisis. There are three main areas that we are worth exploring, particularly in research and development collaboration, technology transfer, knowledge exchange, and capacity building. And the last part is import and export of agriculture products. For joint collaboration in the field of research and development, Penang State Agriculture Research Institute and public university can work closely with Russian Research Institute in agriculture development projects that include crop resilience improvement, sustainability farming practice, post-harvest technologies, and biotechnology. Next, I'm sure a collaboration for technology transfer, knowledge exchange, and capacity building will benefit both sides mutually in the advance of farming technology. We hope that Russia will share its expertise in advanced agriculture technology such as precision agriculture and digitalization, which can help boost productivity and sustainability in Penang State. This is also in line our mission to digitalize the entire agriculture ecosystem in Penang State from farming to the end production. We want to be the first state in Malaysia to implement a digitalized agriculture system in order to boost productivity and reduce unnecessary production wastage. I also hope both Russia and Penang can benefit from mutual knowledge exchange and capacity building initiative at both the governmental level as well as the local producer level. Mutual exchange between governmental institutions of both sides and between agriculture produce and food manufacturing at the bottom level can take place frequently, be it physical or online. This will further enhance skill and knowledge both sides in the agro-food security and keep us constantly updated with the latest advance of farming technology. Another aspect that I wish to look into is the import and export of agriculture products. We know that Russia is the world's largest producer and exporter of fertilizer. Russia is rich with the mineral resources, and the production of chemical fertilizer requires mineral or chemical ranging from nitrogen to the phosphorus and photosynthesis, in which Malaysia is lack of. We hope to explore more resources to make it possible for us to produce our own fertilizer in order to tackle the rising cost of agriculture production. On the other hand, we are always ready to trade our processed tropical foods and other downstream food products to foreign partners. Ladies and gentlemen, to end my speech, I remain hopefully that by having Penang State forging better ties and working closely with Russia and other foreign nationals bilaterally or multilaterally, it will definitely strengthen another form of our regional defense in terms of food security, which is an agenda that we are prioritized for now and of course in the future. Thank you very much and have full discussion ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this insightful speech. As a moderator, I have to say that we have not much time left, and I'll have to make a very unpopular decision to ask the rest of the speakers who we have here today to make their speech very concise. Please try to make it 3 minutes so that we can hear everyone who was willing to speak today. I know that's maybe a bit too much to ask, but former Senator from Sarawak, Mr. Jaziri, please share with us some views on the possibilities for our cooperation in high technology, in green energy, hydrogen economy. I think there is a lot of us to talk about on this.
Thank you very much, Ekaterina. His Excellency Deputy Minister Dmitry Vahrukov, Deputy Minister Khairul, my colleague, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for the invitation to this Kazan Forum. I come from the state of Sarawak, and Sarawak, as some of you might know, or some of you will learn, is that it's the largest landmass state in the whole of Malaysia, poised to become the ASEAN green energy supplier. So when I talk about green energy, it is the RE, renewable energy powerhouse, that is planned and strategized to generate up to 20 gigawatt by 2030. At the moment, we are producing about 5.4 gigawatts, so there is a lot of opportunity there in terms of collaborations in green energy. Number two is that, as you would know, the ASEAN region, our region, is looking into becoming probably the fourth or fifth largest GDP in the world, amounting to 1.5 trillion USD by 2050. Looking into those two aspects, which is the powerhouse generator of the green energy and the projection of ASEAN growth, I would like to invite our friends, especially from the Russian Federation, to see how we can collaborate in this renewable energy sector, this energy sector. There's a lot of opportunity in producing green ammonia, blue ammonia, green hydrogen, blue hydrogen. I know the Russians are highly technological and highly advanced in certain industry, that this could be an opportunity to establish more Russian-Malaysian high-tech collaboration and investment. That is looking into the green energy aspect. Some other aspect I think we could focus on is, of course, on, like our colleagues mentioned just now, is on fertilizer or food security. That is also a huge concern for us in Malaysia. Being a state of Sarawak, again, I mentioned, it's a huge landmass, a lot of land which has not been utilized fully or explored fully. With your expertise in agriculture, high-tech in agriculture, especially the state of Tatarstan, I think that is a huge opportunity there. As mentioned to our colleague, that could potentially have further talks in September, inshallah. That could be a huge, major discussion to be put on the table. Energy sector, looking into methanol, green gas production and supply. That is something that we would like to explore as well with the Russians. I'm trying to put my speech as concise as possible, as mentioned to my good friend Ekaterina. Okay, capacity building, of course. Capacity building, of course, education is a very important sector for us. Tomorrow, I'm able to secure a meeting with the Vice Rector of Kazan Federal University tomorrow at 10 o'clock. So that is a good way forward in terms of starting the collaboration. I think with the University of Malaya, they have a MOU today as well. Congratulations. Again, aerospace, huge for us as well. I know the Sabah, my good friend, Deputy Minister Khairul is from Sabah. I'm from the state of Sarawak. I think we're a bit of rival. We were trying to get the Russians to be part of the Sarawak launch site development, inshallah. So that is something that we want to put on the table, and we're serious about it. And I think lastly, what is important is this has to boil down into promising outcome. What that means is that it has to come into fruition, and part of this becoming to materialize is having a business-friendly environment. Again, investment flow, investment into Malaysia, or knowledge transfer within the two countries have to be streamlined and made as easy as possible. In this age, in this time, it is quite interesting and it's quite challenging, even to some of us, to spend money here. But we would like to see in the future the streamline between transaction or investment within Malaysia and Russia could be make easier as much as possible, because that would, of course, make more things streamlined and move even faster. Thank you, Ekaterina. I hope that would contribute to our discussion today, and I believe the discussion does not stop here. It will continue until as much as we believe we can. Terima kasih.
Thank you. Terima kasih. Okay, let's go back to tourism for a while. I'm sure that all of our Malaysian guests know about St. Petersburg, Kazan, and Moscow, but have you heard about North Caucasus? If not, we will have a person here, Mr. Rustam Tapayev, Deputy Director General of Kafkas RF, institution that is responsible for the development of this region and attracting investments and developing it tourism-wise. To talk about the region, Mr. Rustam, what would you say to invite the colleagues to visit and to invest? Please, the floor is yours.
Good day, dear everyone. I would like to welcome our guests. Welcome, Malaysia. Welcome, everyone. And thank you for giving me this opportunity. And as following the request from our moderator, Ekaterina, I will be very brief. So one more time, I would like to stress that I represent the State Corporation for Macro Development of Macro Region Caucasus RF. It is a very interesting region besides of all the advantages, it has this iconic geographical position. It's a corridor, it's a gateway geographically, culturally, and it's a corridor to the Islamic world, and it's a corridor, the Caucasus. And we consider this event, this forum, to be a very important event for our destination, for our region. And speaking about the Northern Caucasus, it is the region equal to Tatarstan in terms of Muslim culture distribution, presence, and it is indeed a great help in how we understand the mentality of the population of the Muslim world, and it allows us to work, to be good friends, to be tourists, to trade, to interact with each other. And as it was mentioned by the deputy minister, we give special attention to the development of tourism at the Northern Caucasus, and recently we have constructed a lot of premises dedicated to the tourism industry. We give a special attention to service, operations, quality development, and of course, the best and the most beautiful environment, natural sightseeing are part of our environment, and we can and should and must become the magnet for tourists. And we are twice faster in growth pace comparing to other industries here in our region. So what do I see as our highlight? We should focus on mutual exchange in tourism with Malaysia, and I'm sure we can surprise you. If you bring us your tourists from Malaysia, we'll be able to surprise you. And we plan to bring a lot of our energy to be attractive for tourists from Malaysia, and we hope to have good relationships and cooperation with authorities, with Malaysian community. And together with that, at the Northern Caucasus, we have very curious people. And for them, Malaysia is quite a faraway destination country. And I think that a lot of citizens of our region will be more than happy to travel to Malaysia. And as it has been mentioned, it is the country not for vacation. It is a destination for exploration, for investigation, for discovering a unique culture, beautiful nature. And I think that it is important. It is important to understand the logistics that will be comfortable for tourists and at most, both in Russia, the Caucasus, and in Malaysia. And we see here a huge potential. Another thing regarding tourism and tourists, we consider that there is a way to go in terms of investors that we could bring interested and willing to work in Northern Caucasus region because the investment perspectives are very promising. With the support given from the state, we construct a lot of infrastructural venues, sites, and we'll be happy to welcome investors willing to construct accommodation facilities, hotels of a world class. And we know that Malaysia is well known for that. And we'll be very happy not only to have investors with assets, with money, we'll be waiting for investors bringing their standards of quality. For our region, it is crucial. And economic parameters and tourists and numbers and figures, we grow here, and the figures will grow and will be more and more attractive. This is our expectation, this is our feeling, and this sphere is very prospective for us. And to conclude, I would like to contribute the following. We've touched upon that within another roundtable. This halal products that we produce at our region, at the Northern Caucasus region, and we support it as our state corporation. We have our own brand of quality made Caucasus, and we have halal production here in our region, so we also can produce such products and to interact with Malaysia.
Speaker. I would like to thank our Deputy Minister Dmitry Vahrukov for participating today in this event. The Deputy Minister has a flight to catch, so I hope that we all can support Mr. Dmitry Vahrukov and let him go on his business. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Thank you very much and good luck. Thank you.
Спасибо и всем всего хорошего, сказал замминистра.
Driver of bilateral cooperation and the growth, economic growth that we haven't touched upon yet is education. And with this, I would like to pass the floor to Mr. Timirhan Alishev, who is the Vice Director for International Relations of Kazan Federal University, to share with us some information on how you've been working with the Malaysian side and how it has contributed to the signing of an MOU today.
Thank you. Спасибо. Спасибо, Екатерина. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody, dear friends. First of all, want to thank the Ministry of the Economic Development in organizing this already traditional roundtable where we can discuss the various issues. And I'm glad that education is one of the key aspects for us to discuss. Universities of our countries work in both bilaterally and in other ways. And quite a lot of Malaysian students are here in Russia. As it was said before, it was about 659 students from Malaysia. I think His Excellency Ambassador mentioned another statistics. I believe some of the Malaysian students are actually sort of like in preparatory courses. One of the main, most interesting sort of faculty that Malaysian students go for is medicine. And the Russian Federation gives a special quota, which we believe is not enough. It's just 20 grants that they're given to Malaysian students. We believe that this number should increase. You know that last year there was a big delegation with the Minister from the Minister of Education of Malaysia, and various issues were discussed. And last October 2023, the Russian Minister of Education also visited Malaysia. I'd mention some of them. Some of the projects, the Tun Hussein, the in aerospace project. It will be starting next year. There will be an interesting project. UTM and Higher School of Economics in Moscow opening a lab of the social entrepreneurship. Also, the Moscow Technical University of Baumanov and Multimedia University in Malaysia. The University of Malaysia works with another Moscow-based university. MIFI, the Moscow Finance Malaysia Accelerator, Moscow Energy University. All of them are actively involved in cooperating and working together. It was mentioned that in the end of May, there will be another working group with a focus on education on the 28th of May. So different questions will be asked. If we are to talk about the Kazan Federation University, it's a classical university that will be 220 years ago that it was founding, and it has both technical and humanities, and it's one of the leading universities in the country. I won't focus on that, but what I will say that in October last year, thanks to the visit of the minister to Kazan and Tatarstan. There was also another visit there was a visit into the university. And as a conclusion of this, there was an agreement with UTM, Asian University, Islamic Science University, and Asia Pacific University in Malaysia. And as a main vector of the cooperation is gas and oil sectors, and Kazan University is one of the main one in that regard. It's one of the leading universities globally speaking, and they work with Petronas. So currently, we're talking about launching a program together with the Asia Pacific University of Innovation and University of Malaya, and the launch is planned on the 2025. We've observed the active sort of advancement of the economy of Malaysia. We're definitely interested the effective technology of the government, the governmental management. So we definitely want to learn from you. So we'd like to see some of the sort of like traineeship, and not internship, but trainings perhaps of some of our governmental workers from Russia into Malaysia. And in August, in the end of the summer, we're planning an interesting traineeship on the best practices in Malaysia of some of the governmental workers from the Republic of Tatarstan. And the government of Tatarstan is supporting this traineeship in Malaysia. And it's definitely a pleasure that we'll have the MOU signed later today about this cooperation. The Kazan Federal University and the University of Malaya. The Islamic Scientific University and us, we are also discussing a project. We had a faculty exchange, and in our university here, we've got a unique program of Islamic financing, and we're preparing experts on that, and we hope some of them will find their way to Malaysia as well. And what is important in this sector of education is agreeing on the intergovernmental sort of agreement where both countries will accept the diplomas of each of the country. So Malay diplomas here and vice versa. So, and there are some of the programs back in Malaysia in Islamic education are quite interesting, of course, for Russians. But what we want to see more is definitely Russian students going into Malaysia, whether it will be for one semester or whether it will be for longer. Because definitely, I mean, in your region and globally speaking, you've got some strong universities and would like to take advantage, if we may, of that. So thank you so much for your attention.
Comprehensive overview of the cooperation in education in all the sectors. And you know, right on your side, you have Dr. Abdul Razak Ahmad, who is Chairman of Education Malaysia Global Services. And you were mentioning the idea of sending more Russian students to study in the Malaysian universities. And I think Dr. Ahmad is the person to talk to about this. So I would like to give the floor to you. And again, I would ask you to try to keep your speech within 3 minutes. Thank you so much.
Katarina, thank you very much.
Благодарю вас, уважаемый посол и делегаты. Позвольте мне очень быстро рассказать о том, что мы занимаемся. Это Education Malaysia Global Services, глобальные службы по образованию в Малайзии. То есть это адаптация международных студентов в Малайзии как можно быстро, адаптирование, простите. Это сотрудничество между разными университетами, в том числе и с Россией. Следующее помочь малазийским университетам продвигаться и сотрудничать с другими университетами по миру. И, конечно же, все, что касается международного образования, международных обменов, это то, чем мы занимаемся.
A lack of cohesiveness in the way we undertake research. There has been a lot of research cooperation between universities and universities. That's fantastic. I think that is something which is very encouraging. The way things are happening between Malaysia and Russia has been, amazing. But one of the best approach for us to do this now is to really consider what I call a global research platform between Malaysia and Russia. And I think ambassadors of the two countries, it is very important for Malaysia start exploring these and Russia start exploring these too, where we can actually bring our best scientists, we can bring our best innovators, we can bring our best students to investigate some of the most pressing issues that affects us globally. Now, if you look at what is happening surrounding us, either it is, climate change or food insecurity or migrations or even international conflicts, for example, the solution lies in science. The solution lies in innovation. The solution is requiring us to look into new technology, for example, and less politics. If you look at the issue confronting inequality, I think the best equalizer is education. But very little has been invested to find the most cheapest, the most quality, the most affordable platform for education. So I think it's time for us to look into setting up, establishing a Malaysia-Russia research platform and work on three very important areas that are mutual interest to both Malaysia and Russia. Number one is, I think, this area of artificial intelligence. This is something which we are very much lacking because we are not very advanced in the area of fundamental sciences, unlike Russia and unlike the university in Central Asia. Mathematics, for example, is very advanced. Yeah? The other area which is very crucial is climate change. And of course, we cannot look into every aspect of climate change. There must be an area in which we can really focus and we can actually mobilize some of our very best scientists from whatever universities that they belong to. We can bring them on this research platform and get them to work on this, investigating the problems that is very specific to the interests of both countries. And number three is food insecurity. I think the Secretary General of the Ministry of Agriculture has spoken at length about the issue of food insecurity, and I think this is very, very crucial, and this is probably another area of interest. How do we start? Many people think that it is about having, more funding and more supports from both countries. Yes, it is true. But I think what is most important is determination. We can start with just few scientists. We don't have to be too ambitious. At the end of the day, if you have good scientists working on this platform and they are investigating a very important fundamental research, it will certainly be able to attract a lot of funding from people who are interested to understand the solutions of that problem. I think it is very crucial for us to start embarking on this. And ambassadors, let me tell you that we have started working on this. We have started developing a concept, a mechanism of which Malaysian scientists can work very closely with the Russian scientists. We hope to be able to present these mechanisms to both of you in the next couple of months, and we hope to be able to launch it in the next, probably next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I think, first of all, this is a very inspiring speech, I think, an inspiring idea, and maybe it should be taken within the working group on education, science and innovation that is going to be held in May between the two ministries of higher education that we're going to have. This should be definitely run by them.
We'll be very pleased to present that before that particular committee.
Of course. And then we have one final speaker for today, Mr. Daniyar Akaziyev, CEO of Russia ASEAN Business Council, who is actually the voice of business today. We have discussed so many different spheres of cooperation, and I'd like to ask the representative of business, how do you see the potential of cooperation? How much is that intertwined with what we've been talking about now?
Thank you, Katerina. Thank you. A very good afternoon to everyone. I will be very short because we have run out of time. I prepared actually my presentation, but I think there is no need to go on this because all the opportunities have been already set by our speakers, and I've heard very interesting speeches. There are a lot of opportunities in cross-cultural cooperation in agriculture, aquaculture, in energy, tourism, and of course in education. And there is only one question: who will implement all these opportunities and initiatives? And of course, we understand that it should be the private business, the private sector. And of course, the main thing is of the private business and private sector that our voice, the voice of business, should be heard and by the government. And the main task of our business council is to coordinate all these inputs and all these initiatives. And being here, I would like actually to thank our Ministry of Economic Development for that they are paying much attention to working directly with business, with the private sector, and they try to listen us. They try to listen our comments and initiatives, even though they try to listen our critical comments on how to make business. And it's very good that we are having now a very constructive dialogue on all the business levels. Therefore, I don't want to talk again about the prospective areas. They already been said here. So thank you very much for this constructive dialogue.
Thank you, Daniyar. I appreciate very much the conciseness of your speech, but still keeping the, the ideas inside. So thank you so much. We are about to wrap up. We have a very important contribution to this event, which is the signing of a memorandum of understanding. And we have one of the signatories of this document is representative of the University of Malaya, and I would like to give you an opportunity to give this short commentary.
20 seconds.
Please. Yes, 20
Thank you,
seconds.
Madam Katrina. I just came from giving a 1.5 hours lecture, so I'm not about to give a long lecture, but I'm called by what my old friend, Dr. Razak, was mentioning. I think we have enough talking. We need to move on doing things. So what we are doing today is to reflect that we are already moving. Social scientists are going places. I'm going to Moscow day after tomorrow to discuss with Ranepa. A couple of months ago, they sent 60 people to Malaysia. So University of Malaya is about doing things. We are moving about talking, but there's a cohesive relationship, as Mr. Arashef already mentioned earlier. And I think this is important for what we are discussing today, whether it's tourism, whether it's business, whether it's education. I think it's key that we start talking and start to work together. And as we're going to be seeing today, the working is moving to a level that we are like brothers now. I've received them a couple of months ago when they visited, and we are really thinking that this is the way to go. Enough of talking, time to work. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that is a perfect wrap-up. So with this, I would like for all of us to invite all of us to witness the ceremony of signing of a memorandum of understanding between the Federal State Autonomous Educational Institution of Higher Education, Kazan Federal University, and the University of Malaya. Please.
Меморандум о взаимопонимании между
The MOU between the Kazan Federal University and the University of Malaya
University and the University of Malaya. Подписывают. Signed by Привалов Игорь Анатольевич, директор Высшей школы государственного и муниципального управления Федерального государственного автономного образовательного учреждения высшего образования Казанский Приволжский федеральный университет, и Анис Юсал Юсуф, исполнительный директор Международного института государственной политики и управления Университета Малая. Igor Privalov, Director of the Graduate School of State and Municipal Management of the Federal State Autonomous Educational Institution of Higher Education, Kazan-Volga Region Federal University, and Anis Yusal Yusuf, Executive Director of the International Institute of Public Policy and Management, University of Malaya. Просьба обменяться папками. Please exchange folders. Меморандум подписан. Memorandum is signed. Поздравляем. Congratulations.